All right, so here we have Bitcoin on Bybit on the 1 hour. As you can see, we had us a little dump last night. Got rejected from the 50, fell below the 21, came back down exactly to our purple zone right here. And looks like we're gonna try, looks like we're either gonna come down, break this level, or break this last level where my alert is, and try to get back to the 21. Now, nothing means nothing unless we can get back above this 21 for the bullish case. We could be trying to make a double bottom here. We are finding support on the RSI, and looks like we front ran the signal line a little bit, but we're trying to get back into the bearish control zone. We do have this trend line right now, so we did bounce perfectly off it. Same thing with the MACD trend line, did bounce off of it. So in order for this to be a double bottom, we need to get back above the signal line on both of our momentum oscillators. As your BBWP looks like it's coming back down to the moving average. So are we going to consolidate here for a while in between this purple zone and this white line? If we cross the moving average to the downside and start heading our way down to the lower zone, that would be my guess. Now, if we can get back above this signal line on both the MACD and the RSI as your BBWP bounces off that moving average or just continues up and rides this red line up here, I would expect the vol to continue and I would expect a double bottom. Like I said, whether we get above the 21 or not is a different story. Basically, we need to get back above the 50 in order to remain bullish in this VPVR level. Now, our POC point of control on the VPVR is coming in right where this 200 is. All our major moving averages did cross bearish, 100 cross the 200 to the downside. Right now your RSI is in oversold still. MACD below that zero line, but your negative momentum is decreasing on the histogram. So if we could start printing some dark green bars, that's going to look good. And if we cross that signal line, that's also going to look good. Now, the bullish case is that we break this last high and break the 21. Now the 50 is what's really important. We also have VPVR level here, like I said. 50 is what's important. We need to get back above this breakdown point and then work our way up to the 100 and 200. A high level of resistance right here. You got the POC coming in, 200 and 100. Now this region is about 22,500. So that's what is most important, but if we can get above the 50, I do think we'll go up there at about 22K. 22K is the level we need to get above. That's the line in the sand. If we can't get above 22K, none of this really means shit. Let's talk about the bearish case real quick. Bearish case is that we break the bottom of this purple zone at 2,600 and fall below the 2,200 is going to be a major level of support. If we fall below that, next stop would be, we'll probably get a bounce at the 19,600 level, but honestly, I think we would come down back down to 1900, 19,000. This is the POC once you zoom out. So you're going to have a bounce here at about 19,750. But ultimately, I think we would come back down to the lows at 19K. Now, what happens there? That's what's going to decide whether we continue down to 17.5. Now, what I would like to see is a double bottom here. Work our way up past the 50, past the 200, and get back up to this range high. Or not the range high, but 24K, which was your high on, let's see, the daily. Yeah, which was your high on the daily. Now you have plenty of room to make a higher low. We're still operating on higher highs, higher lows on the daily. Your RSI is bouncing, or it looks like you're starting to go down to the bearish control zone. So I would expect at least a bounce here. We need to get back above this signal line. And that price would be 21,890, which would also correlate with the 22K mark. So that corresponds with that. MACD finding some resistance on the zero line, which is is common. You know, a lot of times you'll find resistance or support on that MACD line, so we could come down a little further. Positive momentum is decreasing on the histogram for the daily. Did just cross the moving average to the downside on the BBWP, which measures volatility. So I do think we could go a little bit lower. Let's check the 4-hour. RSI deep in the bearish control zone below that signal line. MACD pretty fresh cross to the downside of the zero line. Negative momentum is increasing on the histogram as your vol heads up. As you see, your BBWP is expanding right here above that moving average, far above that moving average actually. Lower highs, lower lows on the 4-hour. So like I said, we are finding support on the 200, by the way, and the POC point of control on the 4-hour. But like I was saying, I do think we could head a little bit lower, possibly into the FOMC meeting, and then once everybody sees that, you know, it's basically what they expected, which, you know, what I'm thinking is we are in a recession, and we are going to get another rate hike, possibly 7.5 or 0.75 or 1 basis point. So those are my thoughts for Bitcoin. Let's move on to Ethereum. By the way, if you guys are liking this video, like and subscribe to the channel. Check out the links in the description below, one being the Discord. A lot of great conversation about crypto trading and investing. You know, we talk about these moves before they happen. A lot of collective thought, and yeah, see you there. So we did break out of this bearish channel on Ethereum. Looks like we could head down to 1350. But we'll find out. I mean, it looks like we're going to head down there if we do break the 1400 level. And a lot of that depends on what Bitcoin does. The RSI, though, is trying to cross that signal line to the upside. And we have bullish divergence here on the 1-hour from this low to this low. MACD fell below our trend line, so we'll go ahead and delete that. Looks like your negative momentum is curling around. As you see, your MACD line's curling around here, and negative momentum is decreasing on the histogram. So your momentum, excuse me, your momentum's trying to turn around. Long story short, but we could still go lower, which would also correspond with Bitcoin going lower. So Ethereum kind of tells a different story. You know, you did make a lower low instead of just basically landing on the same spot here. You know, so will Ethereum lead the market? All your major moving averages are crossing bearish. Your 100 is trying to cross the 200 to the downside. Now, the level that we need to get back above, we need to get back up in this channel. If we do, this would confirm as a bear trap. So if we can get back above the 50 and the POC point of control on the VPVR, I would expect this to be a bear trap. I'm going to go ahead and put our purple region here. So if we can get above this purple region, which is going to be major resistance, I mean, we come back up here for a retest of this ascending channel and continue to head down. And by the way, just because I think it's going to go lower doesn't mean we can't get some sort of bounce here. Like I said, maybe up to the 21 and then resume down. But I still expect us to get to 25K. I do. But we could go lower first, possibly get a bounce here. You know, maybe something like this. Where's my brush? So maybe something like this, you know, go a hair lower, bounce up to the 21, head down to the red zone, come up here, bounce here, do something like that. Because like I said, I would expect major resistance from this purple zone. You got the POC and your bottom of your ascending channel. Now, if we cross this red zone, 1320, 1325, I would expect us to come down to 1250. Honestly, I think we would come. Oh, let's get that fucking shit off there. Honestly, I would expect us to come down to 1K. At a bounce at 1200. Let's go ahead and lower this. Big purple zone, but That's what I'm looking at is in there. So the bullish case is that we get back above the 50 and back into this channel above the purple zone. RSI crosses that signal line, which looks like we're trying to do right now. And we do have bullish divergence. So back above the 50, MACD line, cross to the upside of the signal line. Also, I would like to see the RSI get out of the bearish control zone as your BBWP rides the red line. Now, if it does crosses the moving average to the downside, I think we can consolidate here for a minute, possibly bounce around from the 1366 level up to the 1443 level. So that's what I'm looking at for Ethereum. Let's check the daily real quick for Ethereum. So we did have that nice pump. We have plenty of room to head down for a higher low. I mean, we could come all the way down to this purple zone at 1250. And honestly, I would expect more support there now that I'm looking at the daily. So just watch this purple zone right now. MACD, fresh cross to the upside. Looks like it could be retesting the signal line. RSI got rejected out of the bullish control zone. You are below the signal line, but a lot of times that will happen. You get rejected on the first pass. So if we can get back above this signal line, that is going to look good. We need to get back above 1513 in order for that to happen. BBWP is starting to contract. It looks like it is crossing the moving average to the downside. So your vol could slow down a little bit. You know, right now we're being held up by the 21, but we'll find out what happens next. Like I said, I think we could go lower first, then up, you know, with some resistance along the way. Let's move on to Solana. Okay, so Solana got rejected perfectly from our trend line. And so we're on the daily right now. We did fall below our 21. Looks like we're going to head down to our purple zone. We'll talk about that here in a minute. MACD slowly but surely worked its way up above that zero line. Now we're crossing the signal line to the downside, starting to print a dark red bar on the histogram. I would expect support on this zero line. But now the question is do we cross it again or do we head up from there? I do think that we will probably find support, possibly go down a little bit, fake everybody out for the bear trap, then continue up. RSI touching the top of that bearish control zone. We don't have any divergences to be aware of. Actually, so we do have, no we don't. Let's see here. We do have bearish divergence. Not yet, because this isn't a confirmed high. Never mind. BBWP is trying to cross the moving average. Looks like it's turning back around. So, like I said, slowly down, then volatility up. You know, big move. But like I said, I think it goes down for the FOMC meeting, upcoming or up to it. And then after the FOMC meeting and everybody sees that, you know, everything is just going to plan, then, you know, continue the rally and confirm this as a bear trap. Right now we have our 21 coming. We did break below this, so we got a measured move here. Let's see what our measured move is. So far below, let's go ahead and put a purple box there, because if we do break our first purple box, that's the level that I'm looking at. Oh, right here. Yeah, I mean, that's a really good zone. We're going to find major support at that zone. So let's go ahead and, no, we're going to keep these because I want to know where there's this confirmed bull trap. Actually, we're going to move this level up to here. This is where I think we find our support at. And then, you know, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana are both kind of saying the same thing right now. A little bit of different stories, but I do think we're going to go lower. I keep repeating this, but I'm trying to get my point across here. So long story short, lower in the short term, then a bounce, confirm this bear trap, get back above the 21. Our 50's coming in right at the red zone. This is what I want to see us break, is the 50. If we do break the 50, I think we're going to break out at 41.70, continue up to this purple zone, make a higher high at $48, and then up to 50, and then we'll see where we're at. Depends on how close to 25K Bitcoin is at that time. I do think that would correlate with Bitcoin getting up to the $24 to $26,000 mark. So those are my thoughts for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. If you guys like this video, like and subscribe to the channel. Everyone have a great morning, great afternoon, great evening, and I will see you tomorrow.